Annie. Thanks so much for having me. It's so great to be here with Missourians today.
Well, we're happy to have you here. And America 250 is about all 50 states, of course, and our great American history. What can you talk to us about folks who are kind of feeling with the World Cup and everybody coming to the United States and celebrating America and the UFC fight this weekend? People are kind of starting to feel a little bit of that energy and maybe wanting to make a plan to participate in it. What should they know?
Absolutely. This is going to be the biggest celebration Americans have ever seen. Starting next week in D.C., there will be a kickoff celebration on June 24th with the president. It'll even have Lee Greenwood, U.S. Army Band, and a number of other wonderful performers. Starting right before that, that will lead right up into the Great American State Fair, which Missouri will, of course, be part of. It's a 16-day festival featuring all 56 states and territories. Really excited. St. Louis actually will be represented with a little bit of Route 66, and the Gateway might be there as well. So I won't give it all away, but that's just one thing to see there. Additionally, bring your cowboy hat. Rodeo 250 is hitting America's Great American State Fair. So there's going to be something for everyone. The Smithsonian has refurbished their carousel. There's going to be a huge Ferris wheel, food, programming, everything you can think of and more. So that is starting next week. I'll go a little bit more into some of the others, and then we can get back to the fair, Annie.
Yeah.
But following that, we're going to be kicking off July 4th with first in New York Harbor, the International Naval Review. A lot of folks will probably remember those historical tall ship pictures. So sail forth with those huge ships, and the International Naval Review will be taking place in the harbor. It'll be featuring ships from all across the world. And this is just another example of the whole world uniting ahead of the 250th anniversary. Then we'll be going right back down to Washington, D.C. And as you mentioned, Salute to America is going to be happening on July 4th, the most incredible lineup you can ever think of. We'll be starting that morning with the American Veterans Center with a Salute to America parade, and it'll be it'll be culminating in the world's largest fireworks display ever. So there's definitely going to be a lot to see, a lot to do. And then we're inviting all Missourians and Americans across the board to come to D.C., and if you're unable to make it, it will be live streamed. So you can join us at home with popcorn and a favorite beverage.
That's great.
Other than that, another thing I just wanted to share is the amazing Freedom trucks. I know they've stopped in Missouri already, in Southern Illinois. That being said, they'll be rolling around the United States for the next several months through December. And that is just bringing a little bit of history to those who are not able to make it to D.C.
Rachel Reisner speaking with us right now. She's a spokeswoman for Freedom250. Rachel, I'm looking at freedom250.org, and every question that I would want to ask you right now and get answers from you looks like it's all on this website. So for our listeners in Missouri and Illinois alike, freedom250.org for all of your questions that maybe we don't get to answer here. Talk to me about costs or need to reserve your space at any of these particular events. How much pre-planning should folks do before they show up to celebrate?
It's completely free, Annie. That was really important to Freedom 250. This is America's birthday party, and every Missourian should be able to attend. Advanced registration is, of course, encouraged, but walk-ups are going to be welcome. I encourage everyone to check out Freedom 250 website and socials ahead of time to check out hours and security things. Of course, there's bag regulations and all the typical things you see at a large event. That being said, for example, the State Fair is going to be open Thursday, June 25th through the 4th of July, and hours vary. So all that type of information right online. But it's going to be something that everyone should attend if they can. I know it sounds crazy this close to it, but in terms of cost for every event, they're all free. And the other thing I would just note is DC is a very metro and walking friendly city. So we encourage you to bring your tennis shoes and prepare for the heat, and use public transportation when you can. It'll make your life a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Washington, D.C. is almost exactly due east from St. Louis. And I've taken a couple of trips here in the last year or two to D.C. just to be a total tourist. And I was shocked. It's just the same weather that we have here, it seems, only maybe a few days later. But we know in St. Louis and the metro area how it can get hot and humid in the summer and end of June and end of July. We're made for it. We're built for it. But you definitely do want to prepare for it. And just overstress what you just commented there. This is not going to be a drive your car and park and go type of a thing. Get to the hotel and take some sort of public transportation to get to and from. What kind of security what kind of security is involved in making sure that this event is safe for people to attend?
Yeah, of course. This is very typical. There's going to be mags, of course, just like you would see at any large scale event. Honestly, I would think it's very comparable to going into Busch Stadium, right? The weather's similar, the security is similar, but you'll see all of the true regulations online. The actual Salute to America July 4th fireworks celebration and festivities will be in partnership with U.S. Secret Service. So please go online to their website. I can direct you to this after, Annie, for the full list of regulations, but very similar to what it would be to go into any large public event nowadays. But yes, you'll see it's almost like being in Busch Stadium between what you can and can't bring. Of course, water bottles will be allowed, prepackaged, less than a gallon, clear bags, things like that, of course.
Food and drink on site as well for folks?
Yes. And Annie, let me tell you, the food and drink list is going to be great. States are showcasing a little bit of everything, to say the least. And I won't give it away, but definitely bring your appetite.
Amen to that. Well, thank you, Rachel, for the time today. The website is freedom250.org. And I am really tempted, Rachel, to put the kids in the van and to drive out east for this event. It just looks incredible. Thank you for helping put it together and for sharing some of it with us today.
Yeah, of course. I think this is just another time that really families, it's once in a generation. I can't talk about how impactful and memorable it'll be for your family. I mean, my dad always talks about what the moonwalk looked like back in the day. And I was able to see Artemis 2 launch with him this time go around, and, joining him this summer in DC is just something I think I'll cherish for the rest of my life. And I hope others are going to do the same with their friends and family. I know it's a big feat to get out there and it can be costly sometimes, but I think every dime will be worth celebrating with your loved ones at this special moment in history.
Well, we're grateful for the information, and we'll let you know if we're headed out there. St. Louis, Missouri, and Illinois alike. Let's go. It'll be great. Rachel, thanks for the time today.
Of course. Thanks, Annie. Hope to see you all there.
Sounds good. Bye-bye. Rachel Reisner, the spokeswoman for Freedom250, talking about the incredible events that are available at this celebration of America. And I just think it sounds like the fun road trip that you might have been waiting to take. Freedom250.org